Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Ronnie. We'll always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week, we have a very special guest. We have Poetic Veteran. Say hello to everyone.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing today?
Good. It's still early for me, but I'm here.
Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with letting you take over and tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I go by Poetic Veteran for my music. I also do videography and photography and stuff with my Gouch Vision brand. And I am Poetic Veteran. Pretty much is the title of my name. I'm a combat veteran who served in Iraq and served 10 years in the military. And I've been a poet since I was 13 years old. So figured it just made sense to use that name for my music.
Okay. So where are you currently at?
Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison? Oh, you in the cold.
Building still
okay. Tell me a little bit about your company.
Well, I help out clients that are underrepresented minorities. I'm a minority myself in the LGBT community, so I do a lot of activism with my brand with the veterans, the LGBT, and also I work a lot with the Black community here in Madison, Wisconsin to help promote their art because, Black art matters at the end too, because without y'all, there's no us with American culture. So I just wanted to make that shout out crystal clear.
All right. So tell me a little bit about you as a musical artist.
Well, when it comes to music, I'm a little bit of a late bloomer. I turned 36 this year, and I'm just dabbing into the music now. I've been doing all sorts of stuff. Like, all my 20s was in the military, trying to find my purpose there. And it's just been a healing journey throughout all sorts of different art therapy. Like I said, poetry's been my niche since I was 13 years old. Published at 16 for the first time, and then, the military took me to a whole different direction. But then recently, I joined a creative team here called Artist Collective, and they've been pushing me to be a bigger artist beyond my photography and videography and just pretty much get me back out of my shell. So my music is pretty much a reflection of me going through my PTSD and, my life experiences with trauma, my own, and just tell my story and hope it resonates with people who can relate. So.
Okay, so one thing that I do notice with people is if they are musically inclined, no matter what they do in life, they still keep with that, I would say, line of talent. So in the military, how often did you use your talents to keep your other partners in good spirits, especially being in Iraq?
Well, I can think of all the way back to even basic training. Like, I had a group of girls with me, and I'm from the country, so obviously country music was big growing up too. So I was a huge Tim McGraw fan growing up, so we would sing "Don't Take the Girl" a lot in the Bay just for morale boosters, and we've had karaoke and stuff like that. So I never went to the beyond of creating my own music, but I would hang out with friends, like-minded friends, other artists overseas, and hang out at hip-hop nights, stuff like that for morale boosters. So when you're a certain persona, a certain personality, whether it's artist or logistic or whatever, you always draw yourself towards similar-minded individuals, and that's something I've always been magnified to. So it's great to find those kind of people in life.
Okay, since you told me that you started out with poetry and that you've been doing poetry since you was 13, when did poetry turn into lyric writing?
Early age, probably when I was in my teens, I ran away from home and kind of used that to try to organize my thoughts and my emotions. And then even overseas, it was a huge outlet for me to write my frustrations on stuff that I was going through and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's always been lyrically based. If you read some of my poems, you can tell it could easily be put in a song, but it wasn't until recently that I actually bought beats and put them and redirect them towards songs. So
What made you decide that?
Uh, I figured writing books, I'm a self-publisher author too. Writing books can only go so far, and I figured it was time to expand my audience and really try and expand my stories so it can help other veterans who probably went through similar stuff, as well as, other LGBT community members who are trying to find their purpose in life and all that jazz. So,
Okay. So with music, what do you feel is your purpose?
um, change. Like, I'm very self-aware. Like, my favorite is conscious rap. So I grew up with, I love Eminem. Eminem is one of my huge influences. Even now, NF is one of my top influences with, being drawn to. So, and also like Kendrick Lamar, Tupac, all the great legends and stuff like that too. So, I've always been drawn to people who actually have stories to tell. I've never been really drawn to the club stuff. I mean, there's a time and place for that stuff, but like telling your story and stuff like that, that's where the music I've always been drawn to. And that's you can kind of hear that in my music. Like, that's the direction I'm going.
So tell me about your latest single, or is it your first single, or where are you at in your music career?
It's my debut single, and I had just also released a spoken word called Rocks and Hopes on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music and all that. So I technically got 2 singles out now. Ever Been, it was my debut single as a song. So I flip flop. I go from spoken word to music. So I'm poetic veteran, gotta keep it up. And then my third single is called It'll Get Better, and it's a suicide awareness single, and that will be dropping at the end of February because y'all gotta have your month first. So Black History Month is essential, so I'm not gonna release it till the very 28th just to keep with my monthly drops and stuff like that until I can get an EP out by my birthday on June 6th.
I don't see a problem with dropping it during Black History Month, because with suicide, that's something that is kind of like shunned in the Black community that people don't talk about. So I myself wouldn't have seen a problem with dropping it during Black History.
I got you.
Okay. So tell me about your process that you used, your thoughts, everything that you took into account, and everything when you got ready to drop the actual single. Since it was being your debut and everything, and you had never done it before. So what was your process? What were some challenges, and what were some things that you found easy?
Well, first and foremost, I have to take a shout out to my team. I have a music engineer that helps me put my music together. Shout out to Marcus Porter here in town. And then also I have a business consultant that helps me with the business aspect of everything, including my music, Willie Wright. He's from New York, and he's just very business mindseted, so he helps us get the logistics end site down. I think the only issue we really had is my hesitation of dropping it in the first place, because you get the first nerves of is someone gonna like it or is someone not. Like you get every artist has that kind of doubt. It's normal, but like after that, I just felt like okay, like I'm coming out of my shell more. I'm becoming the artist I was meant to be, and just a late bloomer with it all. So it's nice to be able to get past that kind of eggshells and that level of insecurity from the trauma and self-esteem that you've been experienced in your life. So it's a good stepping stone for the healing process in general.
Okay. So out of all 3 singles, which one do you hold near and dear?
I think It'll Get Better. As someone who's who struggles with depression and PTSD, like I hope that one really people can really relate to it and really get it bopping when it drops. So I'm pretty excited about that itself. But it's hard to choose one, because like it's my story. They're so personal to me. So I just hope I can change people's mindset of how humanize the veteran community, as well as because there's so many more of us out there that's not going to the Capitol, and not to get political, but
Girl, stop.
Then just to spend some time in prison. We have better things to do. Like
Oh, Lord.
watch it unfold on TV. I don't know.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So tell me this. How important do you think music is to just the average veteran?
Oh, it's huge for us. Like, I don't know any veteran that's not a music lover and doesn't carry like a playlist with them that either resonates their deployment or helps them through a deployment. Like, the cool thing for me is, I got to meet Twista for when I was shooting video during a concert he was doing up in Eau Claire, and I got to personally tell him his single "Hope" helped me, was part of my playlist, and helped me through my deployment overseas. And he was just so grateful to be able to hear that from a fan. So it's like, I think all the USOs, and there's a reason why they send music artists and even entertainers, even professional wrestlers overseas to have us meet them, because it's just everything in the entertainment industry is a morale booster for us.
So, what point, because I know we talked about when you decided to actually release to the world, at what point did you get over, I'm going to say, your shyness to present yourself to the world?
I think I could honestly say I'm still working on it. I'm working on finding an open mic to start performing right now, so that's another jitterbug to get through. But it's weird because like before I was, because I'm alcohol free since 2012, and before that I was not stage fright because I had alcohol for my confidence, and I used to do like performing arts and stuff like that. So on stage and on theater, so it's weird how you just, I don't know if it's like the isolation or whatever for so many long being out of the spotlight that got the nerves back, but like I'm working on getting back to that level of artistry and being confident and sharing my music and sharing my story. So it's a work in progress. I know a lot of other artists have said that it never goes away, and that's normal. So I'm not really worried about it. I think it's a good sign when you have that anxiety before, because you know where your passion is.
Okay. So tell me, what do you feel about collaborations?
Actually, I'm not against it, because I actually have one of my really good friends out in LA. He goes by Case and Kofa, and we're actually in the process of making a remix already for "It'll Get Better," and the original hasn't even dropped yet. So the fact that he heard it and he really wanted to get on it right away, like, that says a lot about my music and how it resonates with people. And he's also, a Black artist, so that would be huge to have someone in the Black community speak up about mental health as well. So I am really excited. I'm probably more excited about the remix than I am about the original, because I haven't heard this.
Wow.
Yet.
Tell me why.
Because I'm just gonna be frank, he's been always a better artist than me. I mean, obviously we're two different lanes, but like, I've been one of his day ones since. I've been one of his A1s since day one. So like, we go way back when he started his hip hop career when he lived in Madison. So he was a UW student and stuff like that. So that's how I met him. But yeah, it's just, he's a really good friend of mine. So it's nice to have that kind of support team, like, right in your inner circle, because it helps the negative energy bounce out. Like, you're not worried because you have the reassurance of your friends and other artist friends that support you.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you about that. I asked another guest that was on the show about friends and trying to pursue your career. So do you feel like that your friends have been supportive, or you have per se dropped off some friends and picked up new friends that was more aligned in what you had going on? So tell me about friendships being in the music industry.
I think it's a little mix of both. I'm lucky enough to have a support system that, saw us beyond like the bar scene, or, saw me more than just my current employment at the time, But there are some people you have to wean off. They're like, well, you think you're better than us because you're never here, or they have just so much demands of you, and it's like, no, I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to get, it's never personal when we take a step into the direction we want to go, and that's what people need to realize. Like, it's just the fact that we're just not on the same level as you in life, and we need to find that level for us and for our peace and for our happiness.
I agree with that.
But the team now is the one that's actually pushing me to get more on that level where I need to be. So it's nice to actually have an inner circle. Like I said, I have an inner circle that even my family is very supportive. My brothers enjoy my music when I send it to them. So I'm one of the lucky ones that have the support.
Okay. Describe your genre.
It's more of a fusion, really. My biggest influence growing up was hip-hop music, and still today, hip-hop music and punk rock. So, grew up huge Simple Plan fan and Good Charlotte fan, So, plus, being a huge, Eminem fan, Tupac fan, all them, and just hip-hop in general. Like, even today, Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorites, It's always the Dr. Dre got some of the best artists coming out from his little studio over there, and even Brooklyn has some great ones, Jada Kiss and all that, and I even grew up a huge Bone Thugs and Harmony fan, so like that's my all-time group, man. So so it's a fusion of, I call it emo rap, I guess. I sing and I rap, so it's a fusion of genres, and that's not always a bad thing,
Okay, so tell me this. How does, for you personally, social media fit into your business plan?
My social media is huge. I try to post at least 1 to 3 times a day, whether it's on my brand, my photography brand to keep clients coming in, or like my artist brand. Like, I'm starting to fall into the TikTok rabbit hole just to get some new fans in that realm, so I've been playing around with TikTok now. So social media, like, I don't think I'd be where I am today if it wasn't for social media. Like, it showed me a world beyond my small town USA type, so it influenced a lot of my changes and a lot of my mindset in the world instead of small town mentality.
Well, since you say small town, internationally, not the United States, where do you think your biggest fan base is?
Right now, with everything that I've done over the years, probably India right now. So that's the second most interactive people I have on my Facebook fan page is people from India. So that's where that's what I've noticed on social media. So
okay. Well, I thank you for coming. I want you to tell everybody where they can find your latest single, the name of it, your social media handle, and anything else you would want someone to know about Poetic Veteran.
All right. Well, you can find me pretty much almost on anything under Poetic Veteran, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. That's where you can find my most recent single, Ever Been. It's out now. It'll get Rocks and Hopes is out now if you are a poetry fan. And It'll Get Better be dropping at the end of February. Other than that, what else should I say about me?
The book.
The books are all self-published on Amazon. So there's Fallen Angels out now, Evolution of Oneself. We're going to get more in depth with my story. And then I'm going to re-release my bestseller, The Road to Healing, which is pretty much a journal and equestrian journal and poetry collection from when I was going through equestrian therapy through my PTSD treatment. So that's going to be coming out soon again as well. So be on the lookout for that.
All right. Y'all heard her. You can find her book on Amazon. You can find her music on all musical platforms. She has a video that has dropped. She has a lot to say. And follow her at Poetic Veteran on all social media platforms. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
All right. Well, you can find us on all podcasting platforms. You can find us at www.blonde-intelligence.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And we will see you next week. Bye.